Hey everyone, so today I want to talk to you about the Mortuary Collection. This is a movie that is coming to Shudder on October 15th, which I believe is this Thursday, and I cannot recommend it enough. Now, I love horror, spooky, scary stuff, and this even surprised me, honestly. Let's talk about it. Hey, Tessa from Mama's Geeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. Alright guys, so this is my review for the Mortuary Collection. I'm going to keep this basically spoiler free. Of course, there will be a little bit here and there about the plot, but nothing that really isn't already out there. So this movie is kind of like a collection of scary stories. It reminds me a little bit of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, where you get the different stories within a whole story, right? So you have the whole movie, and there's this drifter. She shows up at this mortuary and says, hey, you have a help wanted sign, so let me maybe get a job. And he's like, it's this old man, and he's like, well, you know, let's talk about how people died and see if you can figure out how they died, and starts to tell a spooky story, a very quick spooky story that, I mean, it kicks it right off. This is within like the first 10 minutes, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. We're going there. But then each story gets more horrific and terrifying as the movie goes on. So that first one, I was like, all right, that's a little spooky, but I mean, it reminded me kind of like of a Twilight Zone-y type thing, and it was very brief, and I was like, all right. The second one's crazy. It's got Jacob Elordi, however you say his name, from The Kissing Booth, and Two Hearts, he's in it, and he's phenomenal in it, and it's actually a pretty long story, and it's pretty crazy. And then you get another one, and then you get another one, and like I said, they get crazier and crazier as they go on. And when it all comes together in the end, the entire movie comes together in the end, it's amazing. Now, I will say there's some CGI that's a little much. It's not great, but there's some that's really good. Each one is dark and spooky in their own way, and they each kind of give a lesson, you know, like, oh, I'm trying to not give spoilers. So this is so hard, you guys. So basically, like, you know, if you do this, maybe this could happen type of morals, right? Like Aesop's fables almost, like, you know, like if you're going to do this could happen to you. But man, the third story is probably my favorite. There's this elevator scene that is, I think, my favorite scene in the entire movie. It's crazy. Just the whole thing of it, the music and what you see, the way it's shot, the slow motion, like, oh, it's so good, you guys. And I don't want to ruin that, but just wait for the elevator scene, and I promise you, I bet you that's almost everybody's favorite scene, because it's so crazy and creepy and horrific but amazing. I can't even describe it. It's so good. But there's one thing that really bothered me towards the end. There's this scene that, it's not the plot that's cheesy, it's the effects that are cheesy, okay? And I'm not going to say what it is because it's toward the end, but you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about when you see it. And it was just a little too ridiculous for me. It was too cheesy. It could have been better. It could have been done spookier. It made me laugh rather than be like scared. And I think you're supposed to be scared during that point. And I was like, oh, no, this isn't what's happening. Is this what's happening? But there's some twists and turns. Each and every story has a little bit of a twist. And then, of course, the movie as a whole has a twist. It's very Shudder. It's very horror. It's definitely creepy. I had to watch it during the day, and I will never watch this movie at night. But it is something I will watch, like, again. This is a movie I would watch time and time again for sure. I highly recommend it, especially if you're into horror and gore. There's some crazy gore in this. Maybe not as much as I would have liked, because I'm really into gore, but probably as much as the normal human being would like. You guys let me know if you're interested in watching the Mortuary Collection down below. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. Of course, you can always follow me over on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Mama's Geeky over there. But yeah, the Mortuary comes to Shudder on October 15th. That's this Thursday. I highly recommend it. I think it's so much fun, and like I said, I really don't want to talk about spoilers, but just the whole thing is great. It's creepy. The acting is pretty decent for like mini little horror stuff. I will say that some of the actors repeated in different stories, which kind of threw me off at first, but these are all stories about the same town, and I'm pretty sure they play the same character. So like one guy's a doctor in a couple of them, so I'm like, okay, I think they're the same character. At least they're not like somebody completely different. Who knows? I don't know. I still loved it. I'm here for it. It was fun. If you're into like horror and creepy, you're going to love this one.